Let us know, how much are you making per month selling Google reviews for local businesses?
Yeah, last month I made $84,000 helping local business owners get Google reviews and also making YouTube videos about how I do it.
That's absolutely incredible. So now that we have people hooked into the video, we're going to kind of walk through how you're doing this and kind of what this business is. Let us start by just telling us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, kind of how you got into high level and starting this Google review business.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, I mean, I had a marketing, started dabbling in internet marketing when I was in high school, worked with a couple people locally, and absolutely hated it. I was doing work for free because I didn't have any skills or anything, and it went awful. I worked with like a local t-shirt company and ran their ads and a giveaway, and it was just like, this was the dumbest thing ever. I remember trying to figure out how to take photos and videos, and I wasn't good at that either. And so I was like, this sucks. I'm never doing this again. But kind of slowly just like kept dabbling in the making money online realm of things, drop shipping, all the other stuff, and just kept coming back to like helping local business owners. And so went to college, and by the time I graduated college, I was able, I had a full-time income pretty much just from my agency helping, local business owners. And so, yeah, after college, I was able to go all in on it and then kind of scaled up that agency to about $18,000 per month. I was doing everything for anyone that would pay me. So I was working with all different types of businesses, doing any services they wanted. And as soon as I signed up another person, all my other clients would suffer. And so I know I needed a service that would scale. And that's kind of when, I had the reviews thing. I'd done it in the past for people and I knew it worked. And so we kind of transitioned to like only solely reviews.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest issues for people just getting started, is to niche down. I mean, I fell into the same trap of like, man, high level, this is the software that he's using. High level is so incredible. It's got so many features. To niche down is like hard to do, but I feel like that's absolutely critical when you're a beginner, to learn one thing that's valuable for business owners inside the software and that solves a real problem, and then just continue to kind of build out that so you can systematize it. Yeah. So you were making $18K in college?
Yeah. So right when I graduated college, I was making about 8 months after graduating college, I think I had an $18,000 or $19,000 month. And that was like, once again, it was a lot of project work, a lot of big retainers I was basically just the marketing intern or marketing assistant for like 10 different businesses, right? It's like, oh, can you do this? Sure, I'll figure it out. Can you do this? Sure, I'll figure it out. And so I was on call all day, never really was working on my business. And I got to a point where I just couldn't sell more people ethically, because I knew I was like, those were the days when I was staying up till 10, 11 o'clock at night, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, working the weekends. Like, I lost a bunch of weight. I was in pretty good shape in college, and I just like lost a bunch of weight from stress. And so, yeah, it was a stressful time. And so kind of picking one thing gave me clarity. But I mean, my revenue tanked. I mean, I went from making $19,000 a month as like a 20 or 21 year old, because I graduated college a little early, to making like 5 or 6 in a span of 4 or 5 months. So I was dropping clients, and it took a while to build it back up. So
for sure. How many clients did you kind of start with when you were in college, and how did you get that first client?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing I totally recommend for beginners is like niching down 100% helps to scale, but starting broad, starting local, and just like talking to business owners and see what problems they have. If you are playing with high level and you know how to use high level or other marketing tools or other online AI tools, like there are going to be a lot of problems that they present to you that you can solve with high level or something. And so that's what I did. I mean, I found high level kind of the beginning of college. I remember being like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I would go sit down. A couple of times I went and sat down with the business owner, shared my screen. I was like, look at all these amazing things. We can do this and 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 this. And they're like, great, I'll talk to you later. I'll let you know. It looks awesome. And then you should never hear from them, right?
Yeah.
The much better approach is like get them talking about their pain points. Oh yeah, we never follow up with our leads. Oh yeah, we miss a lot of calls. Oh yeah, our website's awful. Oh yeah, we don't have any structured like training for our team and our new staff members. That was probably one of the coolest, weirdest niche things I did in high level. My biggest client, he was paying me a lot of money, thousands of dollars a month. They had a very seasonal business where they had to hire people, before the season, and then they kept them for 6 months. And they normally have a new batch of people next year because we would live in a tourist town. And so they wanted a quicker way to ramp people up. And so I was able to, with High Level, I was able to create, a course with all of their training, SOPs and all stuff that people could put on their phone. And so we had a business name training app, and they could just add it to their phone, like add it to their home screen. And so they could ramp up new people. So just go talk to people, figure out what problems they have, and then over time, charge money for it. I wasn't charging crazy numbers in college, but once I graduated, I was like, I got to make money. And I had done a lot of things. I had done a lot. Like I had done websites, I had done ads. So now I felt comfortable charging for it. Over time, you'll start to get cash. I think that's the quickest way to get cash is like, go talk to business owners, solve their problems. If you don't know how to, go to YouTube, you can figure it out. That's what I would do. And so then after you've done all that, you've gone wide, you've collected a decent amount of cash, you should figure out kind of what is the thing that you enjoy. Some people like websites, some people like ads, some people like automations, reviews, whatever it is. And then you can kind of focus around building a business around that.
Yep. Yeah. Great advice. Yeah. I think getting cash in and getting that first client, 5 clients is like so critical to give you that experience, give you that, experience and confidence to kind of keep going. And then you can niche down from there. But like you said, I kind of found my first couple clients through Facebook groups and doing local just networking. And it's such an underrated way to do it versus like, hey, let me call someone across the country and try to get them on a phone type of thing. Yeah.
I mean, just seeing people face to face, it is so real. It is the easiest way to build trust because that's the whole thing. When you're getting started, you don't have the proof, you don't have the trust, you don't have the conviction in the own thing you're selling. And so now for you to go sell somebody across the country who has no idea who you are, no idea who your family are, no idea where you live, all that sort of stuff, it's going to be really hard to build trust with them. But if you go meet down with somebody at a coffee shop and y'all find common friends or common interests and you live in the same town, you're able to just have that trust just because y'all are looking at each other face to face. And then once you get some case studies, some reviews, some testimonials, some proof and conviction from the local people or from your warm network, you can go ahead and move on to selling people all across the world.
Totally. What do you think is the biggest mistake that beginners make in order when they start this AI agency and they're trying to make money, helping local businesses?
They spend way too much time in the setup phase and let me tweak my website, let me set up automations, let me set up my own high-level sub-account, let me work on my logo, let me get business cards. Like none
because that was so me.
Yeah, none of it matters. I mean, I did the same thing. I made a whole video about it called the high-level trap. One of the scariest parts of high level is that you can do a lot of things to feel productive. But you can also those aren't the right things in the beginning. In the beginning, it's like all promotion. Like the only thing I've got prop money that just sits around here.
Nice.
The only thing that's actually going to bring in the money is talking to business owners who will pay you. That's the only thing. And so if you want to spend, and if you want to get a website just so somebody can Google you and you pop up there, sure. Set a timer for 30 minutes or an hour. Go make a website at high level and don't touch it any more than that. Just leave it. Actually, I talked to a guy, Kevin. I don't know if anybody's seen the podcast I did with Kevin, but he has a full-time job as a counselor at a high school. He has, I think, 2 or 3 kids, and he started his business 3 or 4 years ago, and he's making over $20,000 a month now, selling high-level reviews, websites, a little bit of local SEO, automated through Merchant, which is a software that kind of automates a lot of the local SEO process for business owners. And he's like, I paid $400 for a website. It is awful. It was 4 years ago and nobody ever looks at it, And so, the website will get important as you try to grow and scale, especially if you're trying to run ads or do any sort of online marketing. People might look you up. But in the beginning, just go to your phone contacts and message people. Message people that, are on your phone or local, and just spend all your day doing that. Anything that's not letting people know that you exist and that you're selling something is a waste of time.
Totally. Yep. You're setting up, you get caught in the trap of setting up the systems on the back end, making the website look perfect. And it's dude, you don't even have a business. You have no cash coming in right now. And the most important thing is get that first client. And in worst case scenario, a lot of people struggle with this too, of what if I screw up or I can't figure it out, or I can't hire out the website design with a fiber. You can literally just refund the person and call it a day and move on to the next person. That's how you're going to learn. And I think, our school system's set up where you're taught that you can't fail, you can't make mistakes. And if you're going to be a business owner and you want to actually change your life and make recurring income and really get freedom for your family, you got to be able to put yourself out there and fail and figure it out.
100%.
Yep.
I mean, I've told this story before, but after I onboarded 2 clients onto reviews, I spent I think I spent about 2 weeks. I was like, I can automate this onboarding process. This is easy. It's going to be just a form. So I made this like 80 question form to like onboard people automatically in async without an onboarding call. It never worked. I didn't even know how to onboard people yet. I'd only onboarded 2 people. Like, you can't automate something that you don't even know how to do yet. And so do it manually, a couple of times, a decent amount of time, so you understand the nuances to it. And then you could focus on all that stuff, but get the money first.
Totally. Cool. Let's transition into like explaining the business to a 10-year-old. So, our audience, some of these people watching don't have a clue what we're even talking about with Google reviews and helping local businesses with marketing. So what are you actually selling, and what problems is it solving for the business, and kind of walk us through that?
Yeah, of course. So let's imagine you are a homeowner or something like that, and your toilet's broken, right? And you go to Google and you look up plumber sharing, something like that. That search, a lot of the criteria that's going to show like what business pops up at the top or what business is the one that you call is your reviews on Google, right? You're probably going to call a company that has 1,000 5-star reviews over the company that has 12, 4-star reviews, right? And so those reviews are very important when it comes to that. So you go ahead and you call the person that has the most amount of reviews. They come out to your house, they fix your toilet, whatever it is. And then when they leave, you get a text and an email from a company like Review Harvest or whatever that helps them, asking for you to leave them a review. How was your experience? And the way that we do it, there's a lot of fancy things you can do. We can basically send out a photo of the technician or the owner. We send that photo through text, and we can auto-populate the customer's name on it, right? And so if they came to my house, I get a photo with my technician or my owner or the owner that I worked with, and it say Clay's name on the image, and it get their attention. They click the link, and then it takes them to leave a review. And so you can set up that system to automatically send review requests out to customers through High Level, right? And then after they get the review through High Level, you can automatically respond to the review. You can automatically put the review on their website. You can automatically turn that review into social media content to post on their story and their Facebook page and all that sort of stuff. You can put their logos and brandings on all of that. And so that's the system we sell. We help local business owners request reviews, respond to reviews, and repurpose reviews. And the value that it provides is that the more reviews they have, the higher they'll rank on Google, and the more likely they will be chosen by potential customers. And a lot of the people you'll talk to are already spending thousands and thousands a month on Google ads or some sort of ads. And so we can get them to rank at the top of Google organically without having to spend money on ads. They're more than willing to pay us a couple $100 a month to do that.
Yep, totally. And question that a lot of people ask, why wouldn't a business owner do it themselves?
For sure. Well, it's the same reason we don't fix the toilet ourselves, right? We don't know how. We don't want to take the time. It's just like anything. These business owners, some of the younger ones, at least we work with a lot of home service businesses, right? And so there are some younger people who are getting into the home service game, and they understand High Level and they understand automations, all that sort of stuff. And they can do it themselves, and a lot of them do. But for the most part, we work with business owners who are busy. They don't know how to get a phone number approved. They don't know what the right message to send is. They don't know how to integrate it with their CRM so it happens automatically. And they just haven't done it before, right? They still end up spending money on a software to do it, right? They're still going to have to spend money on a High Level or the text and SMS costs and all that sort of stuff. And so we just are able to plug in. It takes them like 15 minutes to set up with us, and then they never think about it. Like we're integrated into their system. It happens automatically in the background. So they get a new customer, comes to us, we request the review. And it's just a set it and forget thing for them. And so it's
incredible
time.
Yeah. I love the niche that you got into, because it's like you said, the value you bring to these business owners, you're saving them time by not having to do review requests, and they have a system in place, and you're making them more money because with more reviews and more trust, they're going to rank higher on Google, get more leads, more sales. It's a win-win-win for everybody. And same thing that you said, these business owners, the home service business specifically, plumbers, electricians, HVAC, a lot of them are baby boomers or, older generation. They have no idea how to market online. A lot of them don't even have a Google My Business Profile, which is a service in itself, and setting that up and optimizing it. So they're really good at their craft, but they suck at the marketing and the follow-up and the reviews. So that's where you're going to come in and provide tons of value and get paid to do so.
100%. Yeah. We kind of sit also nowadays, like once you do it, you'll sit on a throne of data of like, we've sent out millions of review requests. And that's just something that the local mom and pop isn't going to have access to, that data. So we know the time of day, we know the best message to send, we know the best type of photos, we know whether the photos should be horizontal or whether they should be vertical. Like we know all the details of what's going to get them the highest review conversion rate possible to help them rank higher on Google. In reviews, like you said, reviews are a fun thing to sell for me because most marketing activities either generate more awareness or they help convert that awareness better, right? If I build you a new funnel, that's going to help convert the awareness you already have for the most part, right? If I help you run Facebook ads, or run Google ads, that's just going to generate more attention. The great thing about reviews is they do both, right? Like we've generated a bunch of reviews. Now you're going to rank higher on Google. More people are going to see you. And not only are more people going to see you, now more people are going to choose you because you have all that social proof. And so it's a really easy thing to sell to business owners that know the value in it.
Yeah. I think it's easy for them to understand too, because you did a great job of kind of explaining it and explaining the value that they're going to get. So it's kind of an easy offer to sell. So let's move into how you're getting clients. Like, where are you finding these businesses? Are you cold calling? Are you running ads now? Let's start from like the beginning of when you kind of switched from, social media marketing, like agency with retainers to like the SaaS business.
Yeah, sure. So I started on my phone contacts. Everybody has this thing called a phone. We all have an app called Contacts, and there should be anywhere from 300 to 1,000 people in there that know, like, and trust you, right? That's the easiest place to start. Send down a message that says something like this. Hey, I'm starting this thing where I'm helping local business owners get more Google reviews. It helps them rank higher on Google, get more customers. Do you know any business owners who'd be interested? Even if I knew they owned a business, I asked them if they knew about anyone. Because you're soliciting them for a referral, not them directly. And if they are interested, they'll just move forward and ask a question. And so, I tell you, when I was slow and I was stressed about money and I had dropped off a lot of those agency clients and I'm like, oh no, I'm not making any money now because those are my biggest clients. Like, I was shameless. I have thousands of contacts in my personal phone and I texted almost all of them that exact message. And it's funny because these are your friends. These are people that you know, like acquaintances. It's awkward. And it's a lot of them don't respond, And I think if you wanted to go one level up of that is to kind of start a conversation first. Like, hey, Clay, how have you been? How are the kids? How's soccer practice? Whatever it is, compliment them on something and then ask them, kind of hit them with that. That would be kind of the long-winded way to do it. But I was cool to be shameless and I was cool to damage goodwill with people by soliciting them, because I was just desperate. And so did that for a little while. That got me to 20 or 30 clients. From there, I went just straight up local, right? I asked people locally. I did cold calling locally. I think when you're doing stuff, reaching out to people locally, I think it doesn't make sense to really stick to one channel because you have a much smaller pool. You need to go across all channels. So I cold called local. I sent Facebook DMs locally. I sent cold emails locally. I sent Instagram DMs locally. I did everything. I just was finding a business that I thought would be a good fit. And for anybody wondering what a good fit is for reviews specifically, we're looking for somebody that captures contact information so we can request a review, right? The restaurants are already getting reviews because everybody loves to review a restaurant. But, your plumbers, your HVAC companies, your boat rental companies, your dermatologist is HIPAA, so you can still do that. You just have to be HIPAA compliant. But your estheticians, all that sort of stuff, they're not just getting reviews just organically most of the time. And so they need help with it. And so those are kind of our good fits. So once I found a good fit client, I would hit them across all angles and offer to meet with them in person, buy them coffee. I'd provide value by going reporting their old reviews for them. And then just meet with them. And that got me into about 40 or 50 clients. And then from there, it was ads. I ran local ads to get to my first 80 clients.
Yeah. Incredible. Very cool. What's your packaging look like now? What do you have multiple packages? What do they go for? What's the pricing?
Yeah. I'm the first to admit that our pricing is probably not optimized to the T of what it should be. From the beginning, and I guess still now, I've always just said, I'm just trying to get the word out there so people know about Review Harvest, so we can get that ball rolling, word of mouth, and kind of make, if you've served a lot of people, it helps a lot of people get reviews, especially in this particular industry, which we can talk about more, the word just gets out there and just referrals start to roll in, which is something that's really nice. And so I was kind of always focused on, let's just get as many people in. Let's not really worry about maximizing profit. That being said, our pricing has pretty consistently been $100 to about $300 a month. And we include everything in every plan. The only thing that kind of changes is based off customer size, right? So if you're working with somebody that's sending out, 300 review requests a month, they're going to be in the largest plan. If you're working with somebody that's sending out 20 review requests a month, they're going to be in the smallest plan. And so we kind of go based off that. I made a couple big pricing missteps. where I did pay per review for a bit. I thought that would be a good idea. Like, hey, you just pay us when you get reviews. And it is for the right businesses that are a good fit. We get more money. They're more happy because they only pay when they get reviews, and they stay for forever. The problem with that was that we just attracted the absolute worst business owners. And so we ended up spending hours on sales calls and onboarding calls with business owners who weren't even business owners yet. They're like, oh, I'm thinking about starting a business, or I'm getting started. I don't have any customers yet. They're like, okay, well, why don't we just talk to you for an hour to get you more reviews if you don't have customers? So
for sure. So so kind of $97 would be considered low ticket for business to business. But there's tons of benefits to going low ticket, broad market, niche down, and every business model works. So kind of for our audience, that's looking, busy parents looking to make an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month, potentially 5 to 10, and actually quit their job. You're saying that in the beginning, if you get 20 clients at $97 a month, you're making, what's that, $2,000 in a month extra? So $25,000 a year.
For sure. And I think that if you're looking for to get to that 1K to 5K range, and you're already busy, what I would recommend is I would sell it for higher. I would give the first couple ones away and get reviews for it, get testimonials from them. Say, hey, I'm just going to do this for free for a couple months. After 3 months, if you want to keep it going, just send me a referral every single month, or you can start paying, right? And then if you're doing it locally, you can afford to charge much more, right? Like if you're just saying, hey, I'm the local review guy here in Omaha, Nebraska, wherever you're located, you'll be able to charge more just because you have more trust that way, right? It's a lot harder to sell. Actually, to put it in perspective, most of my local clients, I charged a $1,500 setup fee and to do a review reactivation, which I can talk about that. And then I charged $300 to $400 a month. And it was no matter the volume, whatever. I just charged a lot more because I was face to face and trust. And that was the beginning. It's just I'll just charge whatever I think you charge, And then you go try to run that same offer to people on Facebook ads who never heard of you, never talked to you, have no trust. It's a lot harder to sell them. That's why the pricing kind of comes down, because we'd rather get more yeses and then waste our time on sales calls, honestly. But yeah, I would sell for a little bit higher ticket.
And the cool thing is, this is your business. You can charge whatever the heck you want. You can start really low, get some experience, and then be like, all right, I'm charging $300 a month, which is awesome. Do you have any upsells that you do on the back end of Google My Business Profile Optimization or SEO or anything? Hey, real quick, if you're getting value from this video, go ahead and smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe and comment free course below. I'll give you all of my scripts, my templates, and software that you can use to get started today.
For sure. And that was something that we just started. And to kind of go back about the review reactivation, that is kind of the magic of what we do. So what that means is, let's go back to the plumbing example. This plumber probably has a list of 1,000 previous customers or more, depending on how long they've been in business. And what that means is that their CRM that they use to bill people, to schedule jobs, whatever they use for invoicing or any of the software, probably has a list of customers. And you can download that list as a CSV file. You can upload it into High Level, and you can do a review reactivation where you slowly reach out to all those customers via text and email. What that does is it creates a massive win up front for that customer. And holy crap, that is the magic, that they will love you. Most local business owners have, and I mean this when I say this, most local business owners have never worked with a marketing company or a software company who told them they were going to do that and then actually did it, right? And actually over-delivered, actually just was a person of their word, right? And that's the amazing thing about reviews, is that they're getting people reviews is not the hard part. Getting clients is the hard part. I'll be totally honest with you. This business model is very simple. It's still not easy. It's very, very simple. Still not easy. Getting clients is the hard part. That's why people fail. But the actual part of getting reviews is not that challenging. They will love you for that. And then, like you're talking about with the upsells, we actually just kind of launched an upsell, and we had a $12,000 plus day on Friday. Upselling.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, we're selling local SEO. And so it's Google Business Profile Management. And I think that if you're trying to get $1,000 to $5,000 a month range, I definitely recommend doing upsells, right? Because the hardest thing that we do, just like selling clients, the hardest thing we do is get a local business owner to trust us enough to give us their card information and tell me to charge it every month, right? That is the hardest thing that we will do, bar none. And so once you get that trust, and once you get them reviews and they do trust you, Now it's way easier to maximize that trust and provide more value to their business than to go get more people to trust you and give you their cards, right?
Yep.
And it's like, to be 1,000% clear here, the goal is not to charge them more money and not provide more value. It's not to like scam them or something, which I think people think. I've heard people say that and comment that on my YouTube videos, like, oh, they trust you now, so it doesn't even matter, you don't have to do anything. I'm like, no. No, you want to still continue to over deliver, because that's how you create the business as a busy mom or dad that consistently makes $5,000 a month. And you'll have clients churning every month, right?
Yeah.
And so with the local SEO stuff, our market for that is we're looking for business owners who are in not super competitive industries and they don't even have the basics in place for SEO. And so I'm currently not selling it as like a silver bullet of, hey, you're going to rank on the first page of Google no matter what. It's really just like, hey, let me see. Yep, you're in a not competitive area. You haven't, and this might get a little technical, but like you haven't created citations. Really easy thing to do that helps local SEO. You haven't optimized your Google Business Profile. You haven't optimized your website, meaning like you don't have your keywords and your headings and your title tag and all that sort of stuff. And so like doing, 3 to 5 things like that and also coupling that with a review reactivation where we boost their reviews again, can get the crazy results, especially in markets that are injury attorneys in downtown New York.
Yep, totally. Yeah, upsells, like you said, they're so much easier you already have the client, they trust you like crazy, you've already gotten results. It's so easy to be like, hey, I'm going to charge you, or I'm going to offer this offer for you for another $200 a month or $300 a month, $500 a month, whatever it is. They're going to be way more apt to take you up on that.
For sure.
And, nothing beats reoccurring. You're increasing the revenue and the lifetime value of the customers, which is huge for business. Is there any software you're using for the SEO stuff? I just started offering that to our clients. I'm using Search Atlas right now. It's been great, but
yeah, I know. I've looked into Search Atlas. I haven't played around with Search Atlas too much. I'm testing out with Merchant and Page right now, and I'm seeing good results. Basically, what it does is my favorite part about it is the reporting. It is really, really, really good about reporting to the customers as to what's going on, what's working, how are the keywords, geo maps, heat grid maps, or whatever. It's basically just displaying visually to a business owner how they're ranking on Google if you have never seen like a heat map before. It's very good at showing that improvement and showing the business owner the activities that you're doing to help the business rank higher. So I love it for that. It does a lot of Google Business Profile optimization and posting and photos and all that sort of stuff. So we're using that right now, and I've had nothing but good things to say so far. Actually, a lot of the first month reports went out for like the first 3 people I onboard with it as a test before they really launched it. And I had multiple business owners respond back like, "This is so cool! Thank you so much! We're so excited!" All this stuff, and it's honestly. It's a great software. We do some things outside of it. We hop on their website and do some optimizations. We do some additional citations. There's a little bit things we can do to just like kind of supercharge it and obviously get them more reviews. But I honestly feel a little bit dirty because like the software does so much of the heavy lifting. I'm used to like back in the day when I was doing SEO, I was doing like all the stuff. I was like clicking buttons and emailing. I almost feel dirty. That's how good it feels. It's like it's doing all the stuff and like I feel like I should be doing more, but it's working.
That's just, it's technology, it's AI, and things are so much more efficient now than they used to be. And, the people that are actually taking the time to learn about it and actually implement it, that's the people that are going to win and make awesome businesses. And the same thing, like
one note on the Google Business Profile, sorry to interrupt, is just that like, what I've found is that there are certain business owners who know reviews are important, and there are certain business owners who know Google Business Profile is super important for ranking. Because if we're talking about ranking on the first page of Google, the main businesses that are going to get clicks, it's the ones that are in the map pack. It's not like the organic, like typical links down at the bottom that you are used to seeing. It's the ones that are in the map pack, the top 3 organic. Those get most of the clicks and calls. And so there'll be business owners who know how important that is because they've been marketed to about that's important, that's important. And then there's a combination of people that know neither important, and there's a combination of people that know both important. And the ones that know both are important, super easy to sell. The ones that know reviews are important, super easy to sell reviews, a little bit more confusing on the Google Business Profile side. And then same thing with Google Business Profile, if they know. And so we like to just combine, if we know one of them, if they know like Google Business Profile is important, now we can sell that and then give them the reviews because we know they need it, because that's going to help them rank higher as well.
Yeah, lots of synergy there. Do you know the stats on like if a business is not in the Mac Pack, the top three, it's like 90% of the people stop right there?
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that I don't know exactly. I don't think Google's going to release great data on it, but I've heard from a lot of SEO companies that most people scroll right past the ads, and about 60 to 80% of the search traffic for the calls and clicks goes to that map pack, right?
Yep.
And if the 60 to 80%, I'm sure they're going to one of the sponsored ads. They're not clicking on see more businesses and going to the summit page. That's where you hide a dead body, the second page of Google.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Let's talk about kind of lifestyle. You're a young guy, I'm sure. And how many hours are you like working? What does a normal day look like now that you running this awesome agency and affiliate marketing business?
Yeah. So still 23. And so
Dang, dude, I'm jealous. You're crushing it for 23. That's incredible.
thank you. But that being said, that makes me feel like it's like I need to still push hard. It's like I know that all the money that I make now, just with compound interest and stuff, all the money I make now is like times by 60 or 70. And even when you take into account inflation and stuff, it's still like, times 10. And so I know that it's a good time to really crush. Plus my wife and I have been married for 3 years. And so like, I'm not out like chasing women because I like try to get married, So like, I've got lots of like excess brain capacity and space right now. We don't have kids. We don't plan on having kids for a couple years. And so now it's like a really good time for me to grind. That being said, over the last 6 to 8 months, I've started to work a lot less on the weekends. I used to like Saturdays are work days, Saturdays are like whatever. I started to work a lot less on the weekends just so I gotten busy, and I still work a couple hours on Saturday and Sunday. But a normal day for me looks like waking up around 5 to 5:30. Once again, used to wake up like 4. Now I'm like slacking a little bit. Waking up 5:30. And then I work from about 5:30 to 10:30. I try to get some deep work done. That's like no meetings. It needs to either be moving the ball forward on ads or something productive or making a video or something. And then I work out from 10:30 to 11:30. I eat lunch. I shower. I have like a 2-hour break pretty much in the middle of my day. That kind of rejuvenates me and gets me ready for the next day. And then the next part of the day. And then about 12:30 or 1, I hop back on. That's when I do all my calls, all my recording, all my podcasts. And then I'll normally work till 5:30 or 6. And that's a pretty solid day. Some days I get stuck in the YouTube rabbit hole and email. And next thing you know, I don't have anything to show for my day. But for the most part, I try to get some good work done.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a good structure and system. So we started our business in 2016, and it was the same thing. It was like, this is our grinded out phase. We got married. We had student loan that we had to pay off. We had no kids. So I was in the same boat of waking up at 5 and getting all that time in, where it's quiet. And I love that you protect your mornings and not have any meetings. I started doing that probably 5 years ago of like, I do not give anyone my time before 10 o'clock. And that is so critical to have that mind, that space to kind of do the deep work and really get the stuff that's going to move the needle done. It's awesome.
Yeah. And if anybody's if anybody's watching this and does have stuff they have to do in the mornings, what I've done, which has been helpful, is like I've got some Bible studies and some meetings with like some of my friends and stuff on a Thursday morning. And I remember when like they were like, I was like, I really want to be a part of this, but like it's gonna mess up my whole Thursday morning work block. Like I can't. I was like hesitant about saying yes or no. And what I've done, which has been really helpful, is now Thursdays are just Thursdays are my meeting day. Like all day is just Thursday meetings, right? And so like this meeting today is all a Thursday, and so I have a Bible study. I have a content call at 5 a.m. On Thursday mornings, and then at 6:30 I have an in-person Bible study. At 7:45 I have an in-person meeting with content creators in my area. And then I have pretty much calls and podcasts the rest of the day. And so just stacking it all there, that way I don't ruin a block of deep work, because I don't get a bunch done anyways. I mean, and that was all from like Alex Ramosi. Like, good for you for learning that 5 years ago. I just learned it like 2 years ago from Alex, and I was like, that's a great idea. I need to do that.
Yeah, huge. And then like you said, kind of like boxing in the same type of stuff on the same day. It's just critical because then you're not bouncing around and like, bouncing from one thing to the next. You can't multitask. So it really takes a lot of brain power to switch over to the next task and everything. That's awesome. I love that. How passive would you say this business model is? If someone just wants to get to a few $1,000s a month and, they grind for 6 months to a year to get there, which I think is totally doable.
Yeah.
After you get to like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, and you have a good system in place, how passive can it be?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I found is that, like you said, the beginning of getting that ball rolling is the hardest part. And so the tricky thing about the goal of like being, if the goal is $1,000 or $5,000 a month, it's really tricky because that's like the hardest money you make. Like for us to add $1,000 or $5,000 in recurring revenue, that can happen in a week, or that can happen in a couple of days now. In the beginning, it took me 6 months to go from $5,000 back to $10,000 a month. Because that's like some of the hardest money to make when you don't have the proof, you don't have the testimonials, all that sort of stuff. But once you really do get the ball rolling, and if you just basically follow solid practices of keeping customers happy, of like proactive support, like basically just, you want to know if something's broken before they do, right? And that can get harder as you grow. But when you're smaller and you only have a couple customers, it's pretty easy. You can just check the numbers and yep, they're good, they're not good, whatever. But like really, it wasn't until I think we went on our honeymoon when I think I was making like $16,000 or $17,000 a month. It was the first week I'd taken off in a long time, and all I did was like respond to emails for like an hour or an hour-ish a day, and that was all we had to do that month and that week. And the business grew, and the business was fine, And so it really can be very passive, where I'd probably say you put 5 to 6 hours a week into it. After you've taken the time to build it, to have the part of the processes in place. But I think that it can be a lot more passive if you do add in the upsells of Google Business Profile or websites or whatever it is. Because like I said, you will, if you've got 50 clients paying you $50 a month, there's going to be a lot more stuff that goes wrong than if you have, 10 clients paying you $500 a month, right? Yeah. You can kind of manage that a lot better and a lot easier and a lot quicker. And you only have to have 10 people that trust you. Granted, when someone cancels, it's going to be a much bigger hit. But it's just a lot less of a headache in terms of being passive.
Yep. And I think anyone that's listening, like, you can definitely make this a $10,000 a month business within a year. For sure. But it's not going to be within the first 2 months. It's not going to be the first 6 months. Like that first 6 months is brutal to just get the ball rolling, get the first couple clients, get some cash coming in, be able to hire a VA to help you do onboarding and take care of emails and customer service and stuff. But if you lock in for a year, and like you said, you can work on it part-time, 5-10 hours a week, and really build something, this can be life-changing for you, especially if you're stuck on a job that you hate and you're trying to make a change for your family and be around more. Anything that's reoccurring like this, and businesses need this and need problems solved, it's an amazing business model. And that's kind of why we switched from going all in on affiliate marketing and digital products and courses to like, let's, run this agency and really help local businesses and use what we've been doing for the last 10 years to do so. What's the most stressful part about this, or something that would be surprising to people?
I think the hardest part is separating the facts from the feelings, especially in the beginning. For me, at least, it was like all this doubt of like, does this business model even work? This isn't possible. When you look at it, all it was just a bad sales call or a bad onboarding call. It's just like a bad day of outreach or whatever it was. Like you just had multiple people say no to you. And so, really in the beginning, when I was doing this through high level, I don't say this as any sort of like, I don't want this to sound the wrong way, pretentious or whatever, but like there wasn't really any specific white label, high level companies that were just making $10,000 a month just from reviews. And so I had I knew people were like doing reviews for customers and upselling it. I knew there's people that were doing it a little bit on the side. I didn't know if it could be like a full-time deal. And so I struggled with a lot of doubt. And so maybe now that, I've done it, and now, there's been 3 or 4 guys who are similar to my age, who started around this time last year, who have been in college or been working jobs, who have now quit their jobs because they're making $10,000 a month, through reviews and then maybe a few upsells, that it's definitely possible. It's just the ups and downs of sales and being an entrepreneur are really challenging for me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Did you ever have a 9 to 5?
No, that's what
dude, that's crazy.
I hired somebody the other day. I'm hiring a content director to help me pump out more content and manage editors and videos and stuff like that. And it's probably one of the bigger roles I've ever hired. And I'm on these interviews, and I'm like, I just straight up was like, sorry, I have no idea how it's supposed to go. I don't know the questions to ask. I don't know. I watched YouTube videos. Like I can watch all the Layla Hermosa YouTube videos about hiring. I want to, but like I genuinely just don't know how this is supposed to go because I had summer jobs, but I never had a business. I never had a 9-to-5 or like a real person job. And I never interviewed for a real person job either. So
yeah, that's amazing. I don't think you know my story. I was a jail deputy before we started our business. I did that for 3 years. Okay. It was horrible. It was, I felt like depressed and stuck and lost and kind of came to Jesus at the jail. And he kind of gave me this, I kind of downloaded this dream from him in this guidance. And then I kind of followed it to start our business, The Savvy Couple, and had my wife join full-time a couple years into it, quit her teaching job. And so it just takes like that spark to say, you know, I want something different and I want to create something that can actually be fruitful for my family and have more freedom. So it's just, I love talking about how people get started and how people come from different directions and stuff. It's really cool.
Well, and to touch on your talk about like kind of affiliate marketing versus service as well. One thing that I love, obviously affiliate marketing is great. Like I've just started that in the last couple of years and it's been awesome. But one thing I love about services is you really do learn super valuable skills. Not to say you don't learn valuable skills in affiliate marketing, but the skill you're learning in affiliate marketing a lot of times is creating content, right? It's like how do you create content and create awareness, which is a great skill to have. But what I loved about starting a marketing agency, and like one of the reasons I kept coming back to it was because like I remember like sometime in college, like end of college, where I got to the point where I was like, wow, like I know how to build a website. I know how to do Google Business Profile Optimization. I know how to do SEO. I know how to run local ads on Google and Facebook. Like these are valuable skills that I'm sure, you know, businesses all around my area would, if I needed to, because I lost everything in my business or whatever. I'm sure there's multiple businesses who would pay me $4,000 or $5,000 a month to be their full-time marketing guy, you know, and you learn these super valuable skills that, you know, somebody that can grow a business is always going to be in demand. You know, I think even in the age of AI, like if you are able to grow a local business specifically, like there's going to be so many local business owners who like don't know marketing that need a full-time marketing person. And so worst case scenario, you can go get a job making decent money, you know, being a marketing person.
Yep. Skills pay the bills. Yep.
Right.
Two personal questions, if you don't mind. These are like selfish questions.
Let's do it.
How are you getting yourself up at 5:30? I know you're younger. Like ever since we, you know, did really well financially, been super blessed, and like we have kids. Like I cannot get myself out of bed in the morning now.
Yeah. It's like going to bed early is the biggest one. And
what time do you go to bed?
We're normally in bed by 8:30.
Dang, okay.
I wake up early, but I still get about 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep every night. And so this kind of oscillates a little bit too, because like we've got a couple of adult groups with our church at night, and then we lead a small group of like high schoolers on Wednesday night. So we have nightly activities that'll push it back to like I don't get home till 8:30. But you know, pretty much if I wake up at 5, that gives me enough buffer to get 7 to 8 hours sleep pretty easily. And then also I think I have gotten to the point, and I've explained this in my videos before, but like I played football and soccer growing up as a kid, and I played till like 7th or 8th grade. And then I had a head injury and neck injury, and the doctor was like, you can't play contact sports anymore. I was like, dang it, super competitive kid, grew up in a super competitive family. And now I'm like, I've got to go start a non-contact sport that I'm not good at and I haven't been training at for the last, 7 or 8 years. Like I had all the other sports I was playing. And so I just picked up tennis, and like I hated it because everybody I was playing, everybody that was beating me had been playing tennis their whole entire life. And we didn't have money for me to have like a private coach and all this stuff. And so like everybody that's beating me has been playing tennis since they're 4 years old and spends thousands of dollars a month on being a private coach. And like I went out there and I did my best, and I got, second on the varsity team my junior and senior year, and like did all the things, but I still felt like I had this like competitive greatness that I hadn't like really garnered. I'm like, I know I'm better than this. Like I can be amazing and great and world class or something. And so I don't think I'm like that in business yet, but I think business has kind of become that thing for me where it's like, I want business to be my thing. It's like, and I can go on a whole tangent on this, but like, it's a game to me and I want to be really good at it. I want to be the type of person that like understands business and understands how to grow a business and knows all the parts of it. And like, even now, less of a revenue goal and more of like, I want an awesome business that just works. It's something that I could leave and it still grows. I'm still so far from that. And then also like keeping telling as a Christian and as somebody like, I don't feel like money is not the end all be all, right? It's so hard to create that distance between where you are and where you want to be and create that drive and that energy to get up and go. Because it was easy to wake up at 4 when I wasn't making any money. I was worried about paying rent. It was easy to do that. But now it's like, okay, we have enough. I don't need anything, but I also still want to grow the business. And so it's like, how do you like feel like you have enough, be grateful for what you have, not long for more and more and more and more and more worldly things, but still have the drive to grow the business. So it's something I don't really know. I'm just trying to
I mean, that's a tough conversation and tough, battle within you for sure. I mean, I struggle with that as well, where we're very blessed financially and we don't really need to work anymore. But we choose to because, we want to continue to build freedom for our family, our future family, grandkids, give back to the church more, give back to our community more. And then the big thing for me is I know there are so many businesses out there and parents that, are grinding their butt off in business and they just need someone to come in and give them a couple systems, a couple things within their business that's going to really help them grow. And the fulfillment of knowing that can have a ripple effect on their family and generations past that, like that's super motivating and a big why for me as well.
100%. I love that. Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Let's, are we good on time?
Yeah, we're good. I'm rock and roll.
Okay, cool. I'll try to wrap it up here in the next 10 minutes or so. Let's break down some money if that's okay. You said you made 84,000 last month, which is absolutely insane. So I'm going to push back on saying you haven't made it as a business owner yet. Very few can say that they've made that much within a single month. Break down kind of the agency, Review Harvest, and then break down like affiliate.
Yeah, for sure. So I can share my screen and just show kind of what this all entails here, so people can believe it if they can believe their eyes. Most people don't like to believe this stuff online.
Yeah.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see this is year to date for Review Harvest, so $61,000. It's February 12th right now. But if we go to last month, we've got 2 Stripe accounts. So you can see last month, January, we did $37,500 in this account. And then we go back to our old Stripe account that we're kind of moving everybody off of. We did, I think, 7,000-ish. So $7,100. So that put together is about $44,000. And then you can look at the P&L for 2026. Here's the date, so you can just see it legit. You look at the P&L for QuickBooks, and this kind of includes the affiliate stuff. We get paid through multiple different bank accounts and stuff like that. And so this just kind of routes it all in one place. And so $84,000 total. So about another $40,000 from the affiliate stuff.
Incredible. Are you after that 100K month? Obviously.
Yeah, no, that's definitely like the next financial goal. Saying you can do 100K in 1 month is awesome. I think we missed $1 million last year. We missed like doing $1 million in a year last year by a couple 100,000. So that's a big thing this year. I'd love to hit that. We're at the right run rate. You're gonna
crush that out of the water for sure this year. February, you're already crushing it. And the cool thing about business is it builds momentum. You have I call it hockey stick growth. That's what a lot of people call it. But you start like this and it's like, all right, you got a couple clients, and you just take off like a rocket. Yeah. And all the systems are working. You can hire more people and it's amazing. That's why business is awesome.
Yeah.
From that revenue, are you able to share, you don't have to share exact numbers, but percentage wise of profit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have it pulled up right here. You can see net operating income last month was $41,000. So that's about half. So most of our expenses are, luckily most of our expenses are pretty variable, right? Pretty optional, I guess. We're like, do we want to grow the business this month? All right, let's spend $10,000 on ads. Does Clay do Clay and Carly want to go to Alex Rose's scaling workshop and spend $10,000 and another $5,000 on travel to go do that? Yes. And so we spend a lot of money right now on continued education. I probably spend anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 a month on courses, coaches, just to learn more. Alex Murphy says the S&Me 500 or whatever. If I can learn those skills, they'll continue to pay. But our main expenses are just, we've got some BAs, we've got some video editors for the affiliate side. We run some ads, software expenses, obviously. And then we've been traveling a decent amount to go to different conferences and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of our expenses go to. And all that being said, I think that we could probably half our expenses this month if we needed to. And so I don't want people to look at that and be like, oh, if I'm making $5,000 a month, I'm only going to have $2,500 in profit. Definitely not true. You can run a lot leaner, meaner than what we're doing right now.
in most businesses, like you're in the growth phase, so you are investing back into your business, and that's why you're spending so much on like you said, education, software, ads. But when you're first starting out, at least this was the case in our affiliate business, is like profit margins were like 90%. Like we were spending 10% of what we were earning, and it's like so profitable. But then in order to get to past $10,000 a month, 20,000, 30, whatever, multiple $10,000 a month, you have to invest back in the business. So your profit margin obviously dips some, but you're also making, an extra $40,000 a month. So
for sure,
it's, for anyone that's just starting out on this, you can definitely, the software to start with high level is
starts at
$97 a month.
It's a $97 a month. And then you can pretty much do everything you need to do on the $297 plan. Like 97 will get you in the door with 3 accounts. But then after you get 3 clients, you can do almost everything on the $297 plan.
So it's nice because you start with a free trial, you get your first client, they're paying for the software, and then you get a couple more, and then you can upgrade to $297, then eventually the $497. And that's really your biggest expense when you're just getting started. Like there's not really much more than that, which is awesome. So you said you have a couple of VAs and contractors now. How big's your team?
We've got 2 video editors. We've got a full-time now content director who manages the video editors. We've got a full-time VA who does a lot of the customer support because we do have about 700 or 750 active SaaS customers. So like that comes with some support. And then my wife works full-time with me as well. So she does a lot of the sales and onboarding calls now. And then me. So that's kind of the team. And that's obviously, we pay our salaries out of that too. So that's another big expense because we have to.
Are your VAs all just contractors? Yeah. Lean and mean. I like that. That's kind of how we build our business too.
For sure.
We had no intentions of hiring people full time and messing with the 401ks and the health insurance, all that stuff. It's easier to just do VAs.
Yeah.
Cool. What's it like working with your wife? You guys are newly married? You said about 3 years?
Yeah, we've been together for 3 years. It's been great. So she already worked a remote job before. And so we already spent all of our time together under the same roof, pretty much, just in separate rooms. And so hiring her on a review harvest, the business was doing less than half. So she's been on for just a year. Her year mark just came up, and review harvest has over doubled in the last year. And that is no way, shape, or form a coincidence. Like I was so bogged down with the affiliate stuff, making YouTube videos, that I didn't have time or bandwidth to grow it. And she is a rock star. She, whatever she does, she goes all in. She like really wants to be good at it. And so she has really taken sales calls, onboarding calls, support calls, normal support, admin stuff, taking all that stuff off my plate. So where now I really only have to hop on like the big sales calls with like franchisees, podcasts, make videos, and then like just work on the marketing and the systems side of Reactivation. So she's really rocking it all, and it's been great.
That's amazing.
And we also have a bad day. We don't have to, like, when she had a bad day at her old job, it's like, okay, I need to be emotional available so I can listen to her and hear why her day was bad. When I had a bad day, she did the same thing. And we both had a bad day at separate jobs. We had to do it when neither one of us wanted to do it, right? Nowadays, like, we have a bad day. I know why your day was bad. You know why my day was bad. We don't want to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to go to bed. So
yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right, let's land the plane here. Someone's brand new, wanting to get started in this. It could be reviews, it could be selling websites, it could be chat widget, whatever, go high level feature they find to bring value to business owners. What's the first step for them to take?
I would say the first step is to go to your phone contacts and find your friends that are business owners. And you don't even have to tell them what you're doing or what you're selling, but just find your friends that are business owners and go sit down at a coffee shop or go sit down at lunch or dinner and ask them all about their business. Learn their problems, learn what stresses them out, learn where their time goes, learn where their money goes. And from there, after you do that 5, 10, 20 times, you'll start, and if you understand high level and watching videos about high level and stuff, you'll start to kind of see some overlap of like, okay, here's these business owners saying that this is a problem for them. I think high level could solve this. And then from there, go ahead and start trying to sell that solution and like meet with business owners or maybe your friends again and say, hey, I'd love to do this for you. I would start for free. That's just like, I always started doing every new service, every new thing I've done for free. Just because I wanted to, they're going to be doing us more of a favor than us doing them most of the time, because we're going to need their time. We're going to need we're probably going to mess up the onboarding. We're going to be calling them because, hey, I might mess something up. I need to do this instead. And so just do it for free in exchange for a video review, testimonial, case study video, stuff like that. And then from there, you can start charging people. And I wouldn't worry too much about niching down in the beginning. It definitely makes sense as you grow and scale, but it's a lot easier just to sell a local business owner a problem they already have. They've already told you they have. Then like figure out your little product that you're going to solve this little problem from, and then try and fit their problems into this. Right.
Yep.
That's it's like trying to put a square peg in a circle hole or something. You know, it's like a lot harder. It can be done, but it's a lot harder.
Yeah. I love that approach. Basically get the business owners to tell you what they need, and then you have the solution already because the software can do literally everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome. How long do you think it would a normal person to expect to kind of get their first client, even if it's a free client?
Yeah. If they're doing it part-time and they already have a full-time job and stuff, then I would say you should be able to get somebody to say yes to you within probably 2 to 3 weeks. Like it's probably, I would just anticipate meeting with 5 people, even if it's local, because you have no idea what you're doing. Even if they're local people that you know, like you have no idea what you're doing. So like you might do it the first time. If you have some experience in sales and stuff, you probably will do it the first or second time. But I would just always, I think that it serves us to have, proper expectations or lower expectations, right? Because one of the biggest mistakes I made when I was getting started was that I had expectations that I was going to make $10,000 a month in the first month or the second month or the third month. And what happened was 2 months in, I'm making $1,500 doing, whatever I was trying to do at the time. Because I tried a lot of different things. I'm making $1,500 a month doing it. And that's amazing. It's basically from $0 to $1,500 a month in 2 months. But my expectations were $10,000 a month. And so now I think I'm a failure. And I get on YouTube and try and jump to the next shiny object, and I just keep going over and over again. So I think it really serves everyone well to expect it to be hard, expect it to take time. Because if you could, and just play it out, if you could create $5,000 to $6,000 a month or even more in recurring semi-passive income, that's like creating a 40-hour-a-week job for most of America that just pays you. Like, why would you expect that to be easy? Like, why? Like, why would you? This is just like out of touch with reality. It's challenging. And so yeah, expect it to be hard and do the work accordingly.
Such good advice. Incredible advice. Do you think that this is too saturated? Are people too late getting into the game? I hear that all the time, and it blows my mind that people think that. But yeah, I'd love to hear your point of view on that stuff.
Just in America alone, there are 35 million small business owners, and we're selling to small business owners. You could sell to other people. You can sell services that High Level provides to people that aren't business owners. I know there's a lot of people that do it, But yeah, there's 35 million business owners in the U.S. Like when you think about it, if you do the math, if you want to do reviews and some sort of upsell, that's $500 a month, whatever it is. So if you want to hit $10,000 a month, you need 20 out of those 35 million people just in the U.S. You can sell to people all over the world if you want to, but just in the U.S., you need 20 to hit $10,000 a month. Like, come on. There's 20 people that will work with you. There's the market is not as saturated, especially, and that's why another reason why I master local. I've almost wanted to make a specific course for this. Like people that don't want to take over the world with the marketing agency, they just want to have something that makes $5,000 to $15,000, $10,000 a month and have like a really cool lifestyle business. And I think the best way to do that is work with local clients. Like work with local clients because there are still human connection. People are probably just going to start yearning for it even more with the way AI is now. Yep. And so people love. I just lost a client that I was going to get that has 4 locations that was going to pay us $1,500 a month because I've been traveling, I've been busy on calls, and he's local and I couldn't meet with him face to face. And he was like, I want to meet with you face to face. And so maybe I'll still work with him if I can meet with him face to face, but he will not book on my calendar for a Zoom call. And so there are still so many business owners who want to meet with you face to face. And you just have a much better relationship that way. A lot less will get lost in translation. You'll see that at Publix. Publix, I don't know where you live, but you'll see them at the grocery store. Like, imagine what that does for your retention. And just randomly seeing your customer out and about every couple of weeks or every month, depending on how big your city is, that is great for retention. That's great for return.
I think people underestimate the power of relationships in business, and especially business like this where you're literally helping other business owners. I think it's so important to have those relationships and start locally. What do you think separates the people that are successful with this versus the people that quit? And I know you mentioned setting, expectations and not thinking you're going to make $10,000 a month, in the first few months. For me personally, to answer that question, I think action takers are money makers. I think the people that actually take action, pick up the phone, contact people, reach out, and do the steps needed to get that first client are going to be the ones that win versus the ones sitting back trying to, tinker with their software on the back end.
1,000%. The people that will win and make money will be the people that are able to consistently reach out to business owners or whoever they're trying to sell over and over again and get rejected 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 50 times, 100 times in a row and continue to reach out. Those will be the ones that'll win. And once they kind of garner that skill and that process, then they can pretty much win anything in life. Because if you can take rejection over and over and over again and keep pushing through, you can build whatever you want to build. You can sell whatever you want to sell. You can learn whatever you want to learn. If you can just keep banging your head against the wall, say, I will figure this out, that's you will win. And so, 100%. I totally agree with that.
Cool, man. This has been amazing, Clay. I really appreciate your time. Appreciate you sharing your knowledge with our audience. I definitely want you to kind of share where people can connect with you. Clay has an awesome YouTube channel as well. Tons of videos on there, interviews, and he goes deep into kind of what he's doing and helping you get started as well.
For sure. Yeah, and just check me out on YouTube, just Clay Lawrence. You should find me. Make tutorials and videos about high level, how I get clients, how I sell clients, how I onboard clients, and everything in between. And then we have podcast interviews just like this, because this is like my favorite style of content. I love just talking about this stuff. So
cool. And we'll link everything in the description, make it super simple for you guys to check out Clay's stuff.
Awesome. Love it.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
See ya.